Welcome to Massive Beers. My name is Matt. We do all the beer stuffs here. Sometimes that includes a little bit of hot butcher up in this piece in the form of their Riwakamania. This is the Riwaka Mosaic Hopped India Pale Ale version. What is that? Is that red? It's like a reddish peach version. I don't know if I've reviewed this before. I know I've reviewed a couple of Riwakamanias, but they switch up the hops and they have different variants. But we're going to review it because I want one of these beers. And I have one, courtesy of Hot Butcher. So, yeah. That's amazing. That means nothing to you. It means all the things to me. I did a beer review. I did 3 tonight. I decided to do 3. I was feeling a little saucy. And the first one was 750 Mixed Culture beer. I reviewed it. Had a beautiful time. Accidentally knocked over the stemless wine glass. Spilled stuff everywhere. Cleaned up everything. Said, okay, I'll do the mystery beer next. Gushed everywhere. Everywhere. Again. Twice. 2 and 2, like Chuck Woolery on a dating game. I had to clean this place twice, so. And maybe I'll knock it over. I don't know, but it didn't gush, so I'm happy. Beer-wise, that looks all a part of a big old hazy. I mean, you're talking about 7%, or 6.5, sorry. 6.5%. And I forgot about the tasting notes in the back. We have juicy lime, blueberry lemonade, and ruby red grapefruit. I think they put that on there for Joe from the Beer Patrol because that's his favorite phrase ever. You know, it's like one of the more kind of boring Jet Set labels, but then when you know about Hulkamania and Riwakamania, it just kind of gets all over on you, brother. You know, anyway, that's my horrible impression of Hulk Hogan. Anyway, but yeah, looks like a big old hazy. Let's get on the nose. That smells awesome. It's super ranky-danky. It's got these oniony, garlicky vibes going, but it also has this big tropical fruit pineapple thing going on. It's really kind of just back and forth, pinballing all over the place. Just a big, monstrous, rich, aggressive IPA that is, honestly, you know, 6.5. It's up there with the 8s and 9s of the world as far as the nose goes. It's just, and it's that fun kind of back and forth that you don't get all that often nowadays with a lot of IPAs because so many people like go out of their way to avoid like a garlicky, oniony, ranky thing. It has it in spades, at least in the nose. But then when you drop in that tropical fruit, when you drop in that pineapple, at least on the nose, it smells like a winter, baby. Cheers, y'all. That's delicious. That's absolutely delicious. This might be their best beer going right now. And I don't say that lightly. Man, there's this cool... This is really good. It's really good because right now I got this combination green grass melon thing. Oh, I love it. It's giving me all the stuff that I never get anymore, which has me all kinds of like but yeah, this might be their best beer going now because it's like every time I have one of these, and I think what happened was they sent me one. I think they've sent me every single iteration of this, and the first one I reviewed and the second one I didn't. I was like, oh, it's Rockmania. I've already reviewed that. And then I think the third one they sent me, and I was like, okay, I'll review it again. And people were like, no, this is different than the other one. And I was like, what? Because I don't do research because I'm a dum-dum. I was like, oh, they're doing Riwaka and just switching up everything kind of makes sense now because the cans were different colors, yada, yada, yada. And they were all really good, even when I didn't review. This is my favorite of the bunch, though. Man, this is really good. Mouthfeel. Soft, well turbid. You know, it has a density to it, not too overly thick. It's super soft at the same time. And drinkable. It's like pulling off that weird, cool trick. Fruit-wise, like I said, it's hitting all these kind of like, it's mainly for me like a tropical fruit pineapple kind of combination here. Sweet, but not overly sweet. Love you. Bittering is really cool because there's a nice bittering. The bittering portion of the show here is purposeful, meaningful, sort of kind of generic, but when you combine it with those other things that I touched on that I love so much, those ranky garlicky things, like the bittering itself is like almost like a separate component from the garlicky, grassy, melony component here. And when I say melon, I mean like melon rind. I mean like honeydew. You ever like, so during the summer, and I'm just almost at the end of that, during the summer, fruit for breakfast. That's all I do. I eat some fruit. Me and my son, we sit down, we eat fruit, and maybe eat a yogurt, maybe a sliced toast. That's my breakfast every day. And if you're, if you're cutting up your honeydew and you get too much rind in it, and you just bite that fleshy but just too much rind thing, that's what I'm talking about when I talk about the melon rindy thing. I'm not actually eating like the outside of a honeydew. So it's that in combination with that oniony garlicky thing, in combination with that green grassy thing. I don't get that anywhere anymore. And getting it on top of that in a very well done, very funly put together fruited IPA with a beautiful mouthfeel. It's kind of like the best IPA I've had in a very long time. That's delicious. That is delicious. Yeah, this is fantastic. 6.5%, drinks like 8. So I'm getting that in my corner. Hitting all these notes I don't see all that often with other fantastical stuff. It's basically all the great parts of a New England style IPA with all the old school parts that people are trying to like breed out of all the hops. That's fantastic. Very good. I'm glad I reviewed this. It's like, I reviewed a few of these. Wrong. Fucking wrong. That's delicious. I don't know what else to tell you. Mouthfeel on lock. Fruit all over the place in a very fun way. Sweet, but not even close to being sweet enough. A nice bittering, which marries really well with these cool, fun, oniony, garlicky, ranky. What's the other one? Was it grassy? All that fun stuff. Melon rindy. There you go. It's delicious. Done and done. Yeah. Mount Rushmore status IPA. Like not even like single IPA, double IPA, triple, like Mount Rushmore. Lately, Mount Rushmore status IPA. Bang, done. Let's talk about, have you had this? What do you think about this? What do you think about this compared to the other Riwakamanias? I'm really curious. Now I want to go back and actually rewatch the Riwaka. See what I did there? Manias that I have done. I'm just curious to see what you've thought about this batch. We're sitting here at 9/19/22 is the packaging date. We're at 10/25, so we're just over a month old. What was it like fresh? What was it like around now for you? Have you been to Hop Butcher's places? Have you had a bunch of their beers? Let's talk about it down there. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the review. Hopefully see you next time, brother. Cheers.